Good morning, grade 10. Today we will start the fourth quarter with chapter 4, the correlation, from your booklet, page 40. Correlation is a statistical method by which the degree and type between two variables like x and y can be determined. Let's see the types of correlation. First type, the direct correlation, or you can call it positive correlation. In this type, each of the two variables increase by the increase of the other, or you can say each of the two variables decrease by the decrease of the other. Let's see an example. The correlation between the wage of a worker and the period of his experience. As you know, if the period of the experience increase, the wage of the worker will increase, and also if the period of the experience decreased, the wage of the worker will decrease. So in this correlation, we have both data increasing or decreasing, so it's a direct correlation or positive correlation. Let's see another type. The second type, the inverse correlation or negative correlation. Any of the two variables increase by decrease of the other one, or any of the two variables decrease by the increase of the other one. One increase, the other one will decrease. Let's see. For example, the correlation between training hours on a typewriter and the number of errors in typing. Of course, the number of hours, training hours on typewriter increase, the number of errors in typing will decrease. So it's inverse correlation or negative correlation. The main topic in our lesson, the correlation coefficient, R. It measures how much the two variables are correlated. To calculate the correlation coefficient, we're gonna use Pearson's correlation coefficient formula. To find R, which is the correlation coefficient, R equals N times sum of the product of x times y minus sum of x times sum of y over square root of n times sum of x squared minus sum of x all squared multiplied by square root of n times sum of y squared minus sum of y all squared. This formula, we're gonna use it in our problems to calculate the correlation coefficient. And the n here in our formula means the number of values or the number of ordered pairs. By getting the correlation coefficient R, you can identify the type of this correlation. If the value of R is positive value, the type of the correlation gonna be direct correlation. And also, if the R is negative number, the type of the correlation will be inverse correlation or negative correlation. And R always greater than or equal -1, less than or equal 1. And also you can get the degree of the correlation. From the value of R, when we use the rule or the formula to get the correlation coefficient, which is R, if the answer equals 0, the degree of the correlation gonna be 0 correlation. If the absolute value of R less than 0.4, it's gonna be weak correlation. If the value of R greater than or equal 0.4, less than or equal 0.6, it will be medium correlation. If the absolute value of R greater than 0.6, less than 1, it's gonna be strong correlation. What about if R equals 1? It's gonna be perfect direct correlation. And if R equals -1, it's gonna be perfect inverse correlation. Let's see how to use the formula to calculate the correlation coefficient. Here we have an example. Here we have relation between two data sets, X and Y, and we want to calculate the correlation coefficient, which is R. Let's see. From the formula here, this is our formula, R, which is the correlation coefficient. To use this formula, we need to form a table consists of 5 columns. First column, the value of X, all the values of X. Second column, values of Y. Third column, the product of X times Y. You can get it from multiplying X times Y to get X, Y. Fourth column, X squared. You can get it by multiply X times itself. Like this one here, 10 times 10 give me 100. Last column, Y squared from Y times Y. At the end of this table, you have to find the sum of each column. The sum of X in the first column by adding all the values of X to get the sum, which is 42. And the sum of Y, add all the values of Y, getting 48. The sum of the product of X times Y, 319. And the sum of X squared, which is 314. And last one, the sum of Y squared, which is 400. Here we have all the terms of the formula, so we're gonna substitute it in the formula. What is the n? The n is the number of ordered pairs or the number of values. If you see the table here, how many values do we have or how many ordered pairs do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So n here is 6. Substitute it. N will be 6 times sum of the product X times Y. You can get it from the third column here, which is 319, minus sum of X times sum of Y. Sum of X 42 times sum of Y 48 over square root n, which is 6, times sum of X squared from the fourth column 314 minus sum of X all squared. We have here sum of X, which is 42. 42 squared means 42 times 42. And now square root for n, which is 6, times sum of Y squared, the last column, which is 400, minus sum of Y all squared. The sum of Y is 48. All squared means 48 times 48. By using the calculator to calculate the R and get it negative 0.59. This is the correlation coefficient, R. And also you can say the type of the correlation from the value here, it's negative value, so the type is inverse correlation. And now open your booklet page 49 and try to solve exercise 1I only, and we're gonna discuss it together inshallah in the next conference. See you.